Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Lee Whittaker here at the Ashby Golf Resort. I'm on the back nine of our Oakwood course today, and those who've watched the channel previously know that I absolutely love my 2-iron, or any 2-iron for that matter. So today I'm going to put two 2-irons head to head. First one I've got, it's my 2-iron. It's the new SRIXON ZX Utility iron. This is a 2, it's 18 degrees. This is spec'd for me. It's got the Nippon Modus 120 X-Flex shaft in it. And I'm going to put it up against a new release from TITLEIST, and that is the U505. This is also a 2-iron, but this has got the Hazardous RDX Smoke 6.0 80 gram hybrid shaft in it. So I'm going to play 3 or 4 holes here on the Oakwood course using these to tee off with and see what the ball flight's like, see what they feel and look like, and just generally get a feel for which one I think is probably the better one of the two. If not, they're probably going to be about the same anyway, but we're going to give them a little head to head. So let's get on the course, let's hit some 2-irons and see what we shoot with each one. Right, so the balls I'm going to use are the SRIXON Divide ball. I've got the red and yellow and the orange and yellow. So the first club I'm going to start with is my SRIXON Utility iron, and I'll use the yellow and orange ball for that one. Right, normally my shot shape is a right to left, but I found with 2 irons that I generally hit them pretty straight to fadey. So I'm just going to aim straight down the middle of the fairway, and I've got a lot of room to the left, I've got a lot of room to the right as well. This club does look good, which was why I've put it in the bag. Right, see how we get on. In fact, we're going to aim a little bit left because the wind is left to right. And that's just going to go right hand side up towards those trees really. Wind just took that one a little bit. Not going to give me an easy second shot, that's for sure. That is a strong wind left to right. Right, let's look at this one then. Definitely a lot lighter with the graphite shaft, but looks pretty similar down at the ball. Probably going to swing this a little bit quicker because it just feels super light. Oh, and that feels good as well. That's just going to be right hand side of the fairway. Yeah, that's a great looking shot. Actually, with it being a lot lighter, it feels a lot easier to swing. Distance wise off the tee, TITLEIST gets it by about 5 yards. Now let's be honest, this is not a shot I would normally take on with a 2-iron. I'm in the rough, I'm about 200 yards out, and I need to properly fade it off the left side of that tree because the green is directly behind that tree. So we'll give it a go. I'm on an uphill lie, but let's see what the versatility of these clubs are. Can we hit a fade around that tree? Oh, we've hit a great shot. Oh, it's in the middle of the fairway. It's not got there because the wind's hung it up, but that has faded round lovely. So that was a SRIXON. Really impressed. Right, okay, 5 yards further up, we've got the TITLEIST. Now this has got to properly like slide around that tree because I'm a lot closer to it. So I'm going to have to aim really left and hopefully hit a really big slider. I don't know if I've got this one in my locker. Oh, it's a great shot. That's going to a similar place as the SRIXON. So that one went a lot higher than the SRIXON. SRIXON came out a lot lower and curled, and that one went high up in the air and curled, but being able to hit that high fade shot with both of them was actually really easy. Okay, so they both come to similar places. So this is the TITLEIST here and the SRIXON's up there about 3 yards further up. So actually the SRIXON has gone further, but it did come in a lot lower and curled round onto this fairway, whereas the TITLEIST did go a lot higher, but I tried to play it high because I had to get it up a lot quicker. All right, let's have a little pitch onto this green. What I do love about these balls is seeing them spin in the air. The way they just like spin in the air and you can see them landing, it's pretty cool, to be honest. All right, so this is the SRIXON. Let's see if we can chip this close. Got a chance of making par with both of them. let's just hit the down slope. Not the greatest chips in the world. Right, let's mark this one. This is the Titleist, it's about there. Move it out of the way. SRIXON just hit that down slope and ran on a little bit. I didn't want the SRIXON, it was my wedges actually. But let's see if we can get par with either of these two. Should have lined it up really and used the ball. Oh, it turned at the last minute. Right, that's a bogey. I'll give myself that one. Right, can I get a par with the Titleist? Oh, it stopped about a millimetre before it. 2 bogeys then. So 2 bogeys to start with both. Right, I've come on to the 9th hole here on the Oakwood course, and this is right into the teeth of the wind, so I'm going to have to hit quite a low shot. So this is going to be a test to see how easy these clubs are to keep low. Now with a 2-iron, I'd expect it to keep low anyway, but how good am I at keeping either of them low? Right, let's have a go, keeping it low. Oh yeah, that's nice and low. It's just going to run down the centre of the fairway. I do love this SRIXON 2-iron. There's a reason it's in the bag. And this is a new one. I've had a SRIXON 2-iron in the bag for a while, and it was in the bag out of choice. I mean, I know I'm sponsored now, those that know, watch the channel will know, but this new one is just as good as the old one, and that's why I've replaced it. Right, Titleist time. Same again, try and keep it low. Does feel nice with this graphite shaft. I was always never a fan of graphite shafts in irons, but this feels lovely. Oh yeah, that's lovely. Nice low draw. It's really, really difficult to split them. They're both just good in their own right. So come up to the fairway, the SRIXON is there in the centre. The Titleist is over there just in the left rough, so it's just got hung up a little bit, but in reality there's not a great deal between them in distance. Right, so I'm about, I don't know, 185 yards away, so I'm just going to use this 2-iron again. Why not? Into wind, green is downhill on a little bit. Never normally thought about hitting a 2-iron out the rough, but why not? Right, let's see how close we can get. It's just going to go left side of the green, I think, or just missing left. Really easy to hit out the rough. It stayed nice and low. It drew in from the right. I have to say that this Titleist club, especially with this graphite shaft, I'm just leaning towards actually liking it a bit more. Right, so onto the SRIXON then. Instantly feels heavier, but it is available in graphite shaft, so don't let that like cloud your judgment between the two or what I'm saying about the two. It's just that that's the one that's in the graphite shaft. I chose this in my spec to be in a steel shaft. Right, I've got about 160 yards to go, so it's not all of this, but it is into the teeth of the wind, so it needs a bit of a hit. And I've just pulled that left. And that's going to be somewhere near where the Titleist is. Right, so the SRIXON's pin high, the Titleist is only about a foot off the green, which is actually really good. I thought it was a lot lefter than that when I hit it. Is lefter a word? Left of that when I hit it. But actually it's a really good shot. I'm just slowly really enjoying that Titleist. Right, this is not an easy up and down. I think the Titleist might get a little one-up going on here. Oh, it's in. Oh, that's just brilliant. That is a tap-in par. There's me bigging up the Titleist, just going one up. Might go one down. That was a great little shot. This ain't an easy shot, it's a fluffy little lie here. Right. Need to be getting up and down from here, or even chipping in. No, just left it short. Right, Titleist. That's let's get that SRIXON out of the way. What a lovely little shot that was. Let's put that in. Yeah, right, that's a par for the SRIXON. Should be a par for the Titleist, to be honest. Let's line this up using this divide ball. to say, it's the first time I've properly done that, and actually it's very easy for helping with lining up a putt. Yeah, actually, fair play, that's a great little ball. So one thing I'm liking about these two clubs is the inspiration that they're getting from iron sets. So if you look at the SRIXON ZX Utility, for example, you'd be mistaken to think it looked exactly like a ZX4, and to be honest, it pretty much does. You know, if you had a SRIXON ZX4 set, for example, and you had 5 to pitch in wedge or something like that, then you know you could look at the ZX Utility 2, 3 and 4 irons as possible clubs to go into the bag, and it would look perfect. And then you look at the TITLEIST U505. It's got that little bit of plastic at the back, reminds you a little bit of a T200. It does to me. So if you've got like T200s in the bag, this will just sit in them nicely. So they've kind of gained a little bit of inspiration from the sets. Right, I'm now here on the 12th. Another shot that's into wind, and it's a really tight tee shot. There's out of bounds all the way to the right. I'm okay left because there's another hole, and the hole feeds down to the left. There's a tree smack bang in the middle, and this club at the moment, these two irons are going a little bit fadey, so I'm going to aim up the left side of that tree, try and fade it over the top of it into the centre of the fairway. Starting with a Titleist this time. Oh, it's just so good. It's doing exactly what I just said it would do. Left side of that tree, faded into the middle of the fairway. It is into wind, so the wind has stalled it, but I didn't want to try and punch it. I've tried that shot. This was just full shots this time. Right, SRIXON now. I tell you what, I really like the weight of that Titleist. Really, really enjoying the weight of that Titleist. Might have to see if I can get one of these in a hazardous smoke shop. Right, SRIXON again. There's just, when you look at both at the ball, there's not a lot to separate them. This just weighs a lot more. Oh, that's come out a lot lower. It's done exactly what I want it to do again. There's going to be nothing between those two shots. The other thing about these 2 irons is I look at old 2 irons. You look at someone like Lester who's using a Ping Zing, I think it is, 2 iron. I look at that and I think absolutely not. There is no way I could use that. But clubs like this, with all their technology, with all their like weight behind the ball, I've just made 2 irons a little bit more accessible to the everyday golfer. Come down to the fairway, there's the Titleist, and then the SRIXON is just up in front of it by about 5 yards again. Again, absolutely nothing to split them. Right, I've left myself about 150 yards in, downhill. I've got to go over that telegraph pole, so that's a 9 iron. The only difference between these 2 balls really is the Titleist went a little bit higher, and I think that's because of the lightness of the shaft. And the SRIXON came in a little bit lower, and because of that has ran on a bit, but that's about the only difference. If I put the same shaft in them both, I couldn't split them. Really couldn't split them. Right, 9 iron. Let's try and get onto the green. Oh, it's good for line. It's really good for line. It's whether it's right for distance or not. Okay, on to SRIXON then, just a little bit further up on the fairway, but a very similar distance, give or take 5 yards. And that looks like a good shot as well. Right, let's get down there and see where they've gone, because it's a blind shot. I come down onto the green. SRIXON has dropped and stopped there. Pin is over there. Titleist a little bit further to the left. Again, dropped and stopped, so another decent shot. Problem is it's left me a monster putt. Right, this is a very, very long putt. This will be a good 2-putt, I feel. And I think it's going to need it. Otherwise, the SRIXON will take a 1-shot lead going into the final hole. It's good for pace. It's just turned away at the last minute. Oh no, that's given me a bit of a big one. It's just there was just a little bit of a slope on that towards the end. It looked good all the way, and then it just veered off to the right hand side. So this is for birdie. It'll be a nice little birdie on this 12th hole. I'm going to break right at the end. No, just not enough pace. But that's a tap-in par for the SRIXONs. The SRIXON remains 1 over, but oof, bit of a tester for the Titleist. Absolutely nothing to do with this review, but these divide balls are superb to putt with. Right, I feel this must go, or the Titleist has got a big job on the last hole, which is a long par 5. Line it up. Confident stroke. Oh! Oh, I just made it right. Absolutely loving putting with these balls, by the way. If anyone's got these balls or is not using them and wants to, I strongly recommend it because they are great for putting with. Right, on to the 17th, which is a long par 5. Both clubs are 1 over at the minute. We're going to get a winner. Right, so final hole, come on to the 17th. We're 1 over par with both clubs. The sun's come out. It's going to turn into a glorious day. So this is a par 5, pretty long one. 500 yards, so unlikely to get there in 2 today, I think, with the 2 iron, but I'll get pretty close, I should think. So we're going to start with a SRIXON. Nice open fairway to aim for. I'm a little bit sheltered here, and I can't think what the wind's doing, but I think it's going to be right to left once it gets over those trees. But I seem to be fading these 2 irons, so I'm going to aim left side of that fairway and try and fade it into the centre. Oh, it's just a great shot. These balls are so good to see. So easy to see in the air. God, I do love this club. Right, onto the Titleist then. Similar type of shot. Left side of that fairway. Try and fade it into it if we can. And that's just stayed out there to the left, didn't fade at all. Great strike though. Sounded a little bit different. That one sounded a little bit clickier. Now I've got no outside noise. It just sounded a little bit clickier than the SRIXON. But all in all, 2 good strikes. Let's get down there and see where they are. So again, similar distances off the tee. The Titleist is just over there in the sort of semi-rough, and then the SRIXON is here just on the fairway. Probably got a good 250 yards to go on this hole, so just gonna aim up the centre, maybe fade it off a little bit, and then just give myself a little chip on and try and hopefully have a birdie. That's just gonna go right side of the fairway. Yeah, so we'll have probably a little pitch on from there. Right, Titleist then. I'm just going to try and get it up near that SRIXON if I can get it up there, and then have a little chip on and see which one's going to win. That's just been pulled left, unfortunately, so it's going to be in them trees. Right, so Titleist on this side, the SRIXON's on the fairway. They're both about, I don't know, 30 yards short, so I'm just going to hit 58. So I think whichever one gets closer wins. That's a good shot just at the front of the green, probably give myself 10 foot for the birdie. Okay, SRIXON just made it to the right side of the fairway, just into the first cut of rough. Right, I think the Titleist is a good opportunity for birdie and a possible but definite par. So SRIXON, you need to get inside that. Pretty similar distance really, just 2 putts for birdie. Right, SRIXON first, just made it to the very front of the green. Put off for the winner, so they're both 1 over par. Both these putts to both finish even par. No. So Titleist got an opportunity for the win. Just missed right, so I think that's par. That's the definite par. Line it up. And a nice stroke. So par, they both finish 1 over. Okay, that concludes those 4 holes, and what have I got to take away from it? They're very similar clubs, to be honest. I think the new SRIXON ZX Utility is a step up from the ZU85 that I had last year. And I definitely think that the new TITLEIST U505 is a great club. It is up there with the ZX in my opinion, and I'm a big fan of the ZX, so I'm now a big fan of the U505. I think they're both fantastic clubs. I think they both are more accessible to the everyday golfer as opposed to old 2 irons of the past. These new 2 irons are definitely easier to hit. Like I said previously, if I had Leicester's 2 iron, which is a ping zing, there's no way I'd be able to play some of those shots because to my eye, it just wouldn't suit it. In essence, I scored the same with them both. They both performed just as well. They sound and feel just as good as each other. It's down to testing. It's completely down to testing. If you're in the market for a 2 iron, the SRIXON ZX and the TITLEIST U505 are superb clubs. They're great contenders. They offer help for a handicap golfer, and I didn't feel like I had so little loft in my hand that I couldn't hit it. Up to you, go away and test. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, please do smash that like button down below. And if you are new to the channel and aren't yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button down below as well. It is free to do. It does help us grow this channel up. But for the time being, I'm going to go off and enjoy this sun, and I'll see you all on the next video.